Hello YouTube, this is Tammy Pie and I'm back with another video. I'm here today because I've just repotted a bunch of my little plants. I watched Lou Valcourt this morning talking about llamas and different ways that you could celebrate llamas without baking bread, etc. So I don't garden outside because it gets really hot outside in the summer. It gets really cold in the winter. And my garden is indoors. So you can see behind me, I have one of my hanging plants. I got a big old mess over here. Let me turn you around. This one I just finished repotting. These are all plants that, well, mostly plants that my daughter gave me. This one, that very daughter, oh, how cute she was. This one the cats used to play with, so I had to rescue it. This was actually just a piece of a vine I saw in Portland, and I picked it up, and this one is not a happy plant, but it's so beautiful. These little velvety green and red leaves, I'm determined to make this plant grow. This one I just repotted. This one needs to be repotted. I believe it's got whatever it's called when the roots are too heavy. So that's going to be in the next bunch. This is my original aloe vera, and it has some babies and stuff, but I think I've been watering it a little too much. This one started off as just a little teeny tiny plant. It looks like a coleus, but it's a really slow grower, and it's very delicate. So I don't even know what kind of plant it is, but the fact that I've gotten it as far as I did is amazing. This is actually before my son was killed. He and his girlfriend sent my daughter some money to buy me a bouquet for Mother's Day. And she bought me a living plant. I think they're like zinnias, maybe. I don't know, but I've kept them all this time. So that is like over 2 years old. Give people living plants. They love it. This is a small cutting that my daughter gave me. This grew from a cutting. This I just repotted and put a stake in. This one I just repotted. It's looking really good. This one needs a repot, but we haven't done that yet. This one I just repotted. And this one I just repotted. So it's going to have some growing pains, but I think it's pretty happy. And then, of course, my wild and crazy spider plant. And that's about it. Oh, and here's a baby spider and a baby hanging one that we'll get into a pot shortly here. So I'll turn you over to the pre-potting Tamra, and thank you for coming. All right. This is going to have to be B-roll because, oh my God. All right. So this morning I was watching Lou Valcourt as she talked about llamas and the different ways that you could do llama celebration without necessarily being like a farmer or a baker or any of that. Well, I actually have, for the first time in my entire life, kept some plants alive. Kept some plants alive and brought some trimmings to life. Even grown some kind of hard plants to grow. This is a hard plant to grow. It looks like a coleus, but actually it's really hard to keep going. My poor aloe vera. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I think maybe it doesn't like the pot. I don't know. We'll see. My spider plant has put out so many babies and blossoms. I don't know what to do at this point. But what happens when you take care of your plants is you gotta keep going. You need to repot and replant, because the plants start growing and you start getting a total emotional attachment to them. Okay? All right. I'll be back in a minute. All right, so here's what we have here. I've got a bunch of garage sale pots that I bought. I got a big old bag of potting soil, and we're going to repot some houseplants and make them happier. Yay! All right, I have no idea how well this is going to work or if it's going to work at all, but you know, we live and we learn. So what I'm doing here is these are a bunch of pots which I bought at a garage sale for a very nominal price. And I have a bunch of plants that really desperately need replanting. So what I'm going to do is take those plants one at a time, and I'll bring you along with me. All right, so this is plant number 1. I don't know how to also make this about tarot. I am thinking about a tarot video to make with kind of comparing and contrasting decks that have people in them, decks that have, I need something to break this apart. Decks that have animals in them, and decks that have plants in them. Because there seems to be this huge divide. People are like really funny about, I think I'm going to use this one. This is one, here's the reason I'm using this one. For one thing, I know this plant is going to get much bigger. It's a hanging plant, and so this light plastic material will be good for it. Also, it has this nice handy drain in it, and I've noticed this plant is super sturdy. It's lived in this kind of moss plastic thing for, I think, about a year. Maybe not that long, maybe 9 months, but still, it's a pretty sturdy plant. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of gravel at the bottom of this, just because that's how I was taught by my mom when my mom was teaching me to do planting. So there it is, just a little bit of gravel at the bottom, and what that does is it keeps your drains kind of clear, right? You want your roots to be happy and healthy and clear. So then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take this, and I got some nice organic potting soil from my local ranch store. They were having a good sale, right? So it's nice, dark potting soil, and even though people say, well, you should mix it with this and that, never mind. This plant has been living in this itty bitty thing, and I want it to have a nice, super comfortable bed. So there we go. And you want to be gentle with it. This is like a climbing vine type of plant. So it's amazing how well it will live no matter what you do to it. But look at those beautiful roots. Look at that root system that's developed. Okay, so all I'm doing is throwing her in there, right? Now, at this point, I kind of am thinking, do I want to put another plant in here with it? I have a bunch of baby spider plants. Maybe, no, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that, because here's why. This plant, because of its great root system, is, it's going to keep growing more stuff, right? And if I just kind of wrap it around a little, ooh, I'm going to use this as a shovel now. And there we go. We've gone from having a plant that never really had a real home into a nice, strong, probably going to last a really long time. And now these are kind of ivies, so they don't like a lot of direct sun, which is why my my living room garden does so well, is because it doesn't have a whole lot of direct sun. I'm just going to put that to the side and we'll move on to the next plant. All right, so this is how I deal with overwhelm. I'm just doing one plant at a time, no more, okay? So this little plant is it's a vine. It's like a grapevine. I have no idea what this is called. I'm such a bad plant mom. Okay, so I got this. This is all just off of one cutting. I got it off like a wall or something. I was walking past, I think in Portland maybe. So got a little spider living here. Sorry, spider. So what I'm going to do with this one is, it's not even big enough. I don't think it is. I'm going to go ahead and put it in one of these beautiful bird pots. Look at these pots. This lady that I bought these from, she actually made these. So that's cool. So this one again has a nice drainage system, and what I'm going to do with this guy is I'm not going to put rocks in the bottom. I'm just going to go ahead and put the soil in here. Why? Because I don't want to go digging for rocks again, honestly, but I think this one will be okay. This is actually kind of one of those plants that will take over, like people grow this on the side of their houses to be a climbing vine. But I just like it. I just think it's pretty. So I want it in my little indoor garden. Okay. So again, well, I already had rocks in the bottom here. So here we have rocks, and because I planted this. I planted this from, like I say, a teeny tiny, just clipping that I got off a wall in Portland. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap it around this little pine cone. Every once in a while I'll grab a pine cone because they're plentiful around here. And they work well as climbing sticks for these things. So I'm going to put a little more soil here on top. And honestly, this has the kind of leaves which will, they'll actually take root if you force them. Okay, so plant number 2, fini. I brought this guy here out. This is the blooms off my spider plant, and it's just too long, and I have too many baby spider. Look at all this. This is baby spider plants. I can't deal with it. So I'm going to sacrifice this to the to llamas, right? We'll give it to llamas. All right, next plant. What will we have next? Okay, so here is some of the spider babies. And actually I got these pots with the spider babies in mind. The problem with these pots is they don't have a drain. So this one, I do need to put a good rock in there for a drainage system. Okay, there you go. I just took some of the gravel from my driveway and threw it in the bottom there. I gave it kind of a thicker bottom because I want it to really be useful for keeping the water from draining the roots, okay? Or I'm sorry, from drowning the roots. So we're gonna put a bunch of this soil in here. And I went with like organic, just regular organic potting soil, okay? I don't want there to be anything poisonous in here because these are house plants and I have grandkids and I don't know, I like breathing too. So let's give our plants a little treat, right? Okay, so we're gonna, the soil is in here pretty loosely. And I'm just gonna dump it over. It's pretty wet. When I'm doing cuttings, I keep them pretty wet. So, not surprising. All right, so those little, okay. Now, if you use the dirt and cover things loosely, the plant will grow back out of it. And like I say, this cutting was nice and wet, so it's not stressed out by this change. And that's something that if you're repotting some plants, sometimes your plants will get a little stressed. You'll see a little bit of wilt in the very beginning. That's normal. Don't stress out about it, okay? So I'm not gonna repot my big spider because I think it's okay at this point. But I did want to give these little babies a chance, okay? Next plant. All right, so this is a cutting that my daughter gave me, that when she gave it to me, it was about a quarter the size with one leaf. It barely looked like it was gonna make it. I want to put it in a little bit bigger pot because it's growing quick. I'm gonna use one of these nice bird pots just because I think it'll look cool. I'll probably have to repot it again, but that's fine. I don't mind. So I'm just gonna throw the dirt in without getting rocks. Okay. So I destroyed that thing. All right. And I'm really leaving the potting soil very loose here. Okay. So, and then I'm gonna like make a little pit here. I mean, you can see what's going on, right? And we'll throw this baby in. And I mean, she wants to grow. This plant is super happy and super ready to embrace life. I don't know what it is, but it is stoked to be at my house. All right. So another thing that's going to happen is I'm going to have to like reconfigure my shelves where my plants go. That's tricky, right? Well, we've got temperance coming up in Top Tarot Trumps. And this is such a temperance thing to be doing. It really is. Okay, so this plant has not been 1,000% healthy. I think it does not enjoy this small plastic thing that it's in. So let's see if it will like better one of these cool bird pots. Okay. I'm hoping. Let's put the little sacred frog in with this ivy. I think it likes that. Yes, it does. Okay. Ta-da. So, where are we at? We're gonna put it in here. Yes, we are. No need for rocks because we got a good drainage system already. I'm gonna add potting soil very loosely. Honestly, what I really need to do is get a bunch of these branches from my rose bush, the dried ones, and use them as climbers for my climbing vines. I'll do that, but not right this second. Maybe I'll show you that in a later video. But honestly, I have always been a brown thumb. I've always been the one who kills plants, not one who makes plants live. But you know, trying to change that. And here we have at the bottom, kind of a funky smell. Maybe it just didn't like I think it just didn't like the plastic. All right. So we got some nice root system going here. And I don't even need to put more dirt. I'm just going to leave it just like that. Okay? All right. And I'm going to throw this away because it didn't do well. All right. Good grief. My hands are so dirty. I don't know if I can even pause. Hang on. Next plant. Don't tell the other plants, but this is one of my favorite plants. I love this baby. Look how long and luxurious it is. Yeah. Okay, but the reason this plant is happy is because I leave it alone. I do not overwater it. And it sits at the very top of the bookshelves. So I actually got this, and it's fine in plastic. It doesn't have a problem with it at all. It has a drain, not a heavy drain though, so I am gonna get a few rocks with it. Hang on just a second. And it's not a ton, it's just enough to make sure I have drainage, right? So let's put some soil in here. And what I'm going for with this kind of square wide pot is where this plant lives. It loves where it lives, so I don't want to move it. But it is kind of a short shelf. Now I could move the shelves. I could take down the whole stinking shelf and make it deeper or whatever the hell. But I'm already doing this, so you guys are lucky I even worked up the energy to do this shit. So, but I do really like my plants. So let's throw this dirt as far as we can along the edges. And then we're gonna dump her. And this is pretty wet. I've watered these fairly recently. Some plants need to be watered more often. This plant actually likes to be watered maybe, oh God, the roots are dug into this. It's been in this pot for a long time. The roots are dug into the bottom here. Okay, look at that. Wow. All right, I'm gonna let that go. We're gonna sacrifice those. Okay, so I'm going to lay this gently because I love this plant. It's one of my favorite plants. I love you, plant. Ugh. Plants like to be talked to. These are sentient beings. They spend a lot of time with us. And if they know you care about them, it matters. It just does. If you have had a problem with black thumb or brown thumb, as they say, as our friend Lou Valcourt said, then try just getting one plant, one clipping even a cactus. I think probably this whole garden was started with an aloe vera that I got, you know, off the sale rack at, I think Walmart. I was in Walmart one day and grabbed look at that. Oh, she happy. She happy, y'all. All right, next plant. Okay, so this is a plant that started with just one leaf. And I've had it in this leftover container for, I don't know, a year and a half maybe. I cracked the bottom of this leftover container. I'm going to throw it away when I'm done. But this plant, again, has done quite well in just this small container. So what I think I'm going to do is put it in this one. So I'm going to wipe this out a little bit. Not that I mind. If something else through, that would be fine. I'm going to throw some dirt in it because it already has a drainage system. And because this plant has been quite sturdy in plastic with very little drainage system, except for a crack in the bottom, it's done quite well. It's almost like, what do you call those little trees? The Japanese art of keeping your trees super tiny. I forget. Okay, so, and then we're going to put a little more dirt on the top there. And give it a little minute here. I'm gonna, this is probably one that could use a stick. So let's see if I can find a stick real quick. Okay, so I just went in front of where my rose bush is. This is actually from the tree. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bury this stick in here at the root system. And then just kind of let it grow. I may have to tie it on with a little bit of string eventually, but not yet. Okay, and I saw this one here, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this guy right in the center here, and I'm going to already start to let this plant start growing around it. But remember, this is a brand new, was never in any kind of right. This one breaks my heart because these leaves are red at the bottom and it's very velvety. And what happens is it gets mad at me for some reason. I don't know what it is, and gives me like a few inches of shittiness. And then it gets happy again and gives me a few inches of beauty. So I don't know what to do about that one. Any of you plant people out there who happen to watch this, give me some advice. All right. Happy Lammas. That is the end of my plant video for now. We'll figure out more stuff to do later. If you are interested in more plant videos, I'll do more. But this is it. And thank you for coming.